This dream was given to me on June 27th, 2009, when I saw the four horsemen ride. I was continuing from one dream to the other when the four horsemen appeared. I saw each horse. They were running together as if they were touching each other. And the horse and the rider was synonymous, one with another. In other words, they were the same entity. The horse and the rider uh, weren't two entities, but one single entity together. And I saw these four horsemen running through the darkness of the earth. It was a darkness that you could cut with a knife. It was tangible, and it was happening in the spiritual realm. Although that in the day, light hours, we didn't see this, but it was happening in the darkness in the spiritual realm. I saw the horsemen surrounded by frames of news events, pictures and clips, or television clips, if you would, out of today's news. And they were all around the horses like this. And as the news clips of today would come, they would stop and center down. They were about 5 feet, 5 or so. Uh, and they would center down in front of the horses and then expand to like a 20-foot movie screen, and the horses would ride right through the middle of today's events. And I knew that the horsemen were the catalyst for today's events, and that much of the gloom and doom in today's events were caused by the four horsemen that were riding. I was surprised because I had always thought that the four horsemen would ride separately, but in my dream they were riding together through the events of today. As I looked behind the horses, the frames that they had jumped through were trailing way off into the distance, back behind them like long smoke clouds where they had ridden a long time on the earth. And before the horses were only a handful of clips left to fulfill. I saw in the clips uh, months of clips gone by. I saw clips from last week, I saw clips from a few days ago, and then I saw clips that were just moments before I had the dream that were appearing before the horsemen. I knew that there wasn't but a handful of events left for the horsemen to run through, in other words, for them to accomplish on the face of the earth, that time was running out. And this was significant, showing me that time was changing and actually converging and functioning in a different way than it had functioned before. The clips that I saw that the horsemen were going to run through were things such as I saw them a war or a few days of a skirmish going on at the temple where they were anointing the cornerstone of the third temple and trying to set it up into place. That was one of the events that was ahead of the horsemen. The other event was I saw clips of the Euphrates River being dried completely up. And I knew that there weren't but just a couple of more events left to happen. In this dream, the most significant thing of the dream was that things that used to take years were now taking months. Things that would normally take months were now happening and passing in days. Things that were happening in days were passing in hours, hours and moments at the blink of an eye. So that time, instead of the horsemen running towards the time, time was now coming toward them. So it was speeding up faster and faster and then just converging on each other. And soon there wouldn't be any time left whatsoever.